Hi there. We had quite a thread on the forum recently on the last Dev Diary, episode 36. We had a lot of feedback on there, and it felt like things have been pretty positive all the way through this, and we've been getting excellent feedback. But it felt like there was a little bit of unease and a few people being unhappy with where Elements is at right now. And I thought it was probably best if I just try and address those and explain a bit more where we are, how the company works, why certain things haven't been done, just show you or speak to you more about what's going on behind the scenes. So I know David here had a few issues. He's asking why the menu isn't fixed, why the menu component doesn't have all the options he wants, and also why the paragraph editor doesn't work, isn't finished. So with the menus, this is something we know we can do, and we started building the new menus, and this is easy stuff for us. We've got everything in place to do that, so that's kind of a known. And we didn't feel like a rush to do that. We wanted to take a look at animations, because I think half the problem is like, why are you, from an outside perspective, is like, why are we working on the animations when we've got some of this basic stuff to fix? And it's really because some of the things we want to add are an unknown, and you guys have been requesting scroll-based animations. That's kind of, people want that. It's kind of expected to have that in some web design software. You want that out the box. And we didn't have that, and that was an unknown. We weren't sure how we were going to offer these scroll-based animations. So we decided to start investing some time in that and to go and look at how we can implement that, what are the solutions, how are we going to make it work. And so that is why, from an outside perspective, you might be like, well, why are they working on that now? I just want them to fix this main basic stuff. But we know how to do the menus, and we're in beta. So from our perspective, there's no rush to fix that, because beta testers shouldn't be building completely finished sites. They shouldn't be publishing them to use live on the web anyway. And the menus can just slot in later, and we will have those menus for you available, multiple types and with all the options you want. So that is why we sometimes, it's like, well, why are they working on that, and why are they not fixing the thing that I need? It's a bit of a juggling act. We've got to do it all, and sometimes it's best to tackle those unknown issues, those unknown things, to see, well, how long is that going to take us? Can we do that? And so that's why scroll animations are in this build, and we could have kept putting it off, and we've been putting it off for a long time already, but it was one of those nagging things we wanted to see if we could do it and do it well. So David, the menus will be coming. Please hold on a little bit longer. And it's kind of the same story with the paragraph editor. We know it needs some styling in there, and you want to be able to link stuff without having to write HTML. We've had a lot of discussions recently about this, because some people have requested Markdown support, and we were looking at solutions. Well, how are we going to implement Markdown? Because that's clearly quite popular. Do we continue developing the paragraph editor we have, or do we just go Markdown only? Or do we need to look for another solution for editing these paragraphs? Or do we just need to finish what we have? So there was a lot of those conversations. And it's kind of, again, the paragraph editor that we have, like the text editor, we know it can do a lot more, and we can add some more things to it. And that's kind of a known, because we're using it, and it's just going back to finish it off. And that's why, again, we haven't, we're still weighing things up. Like, do we really want to finish this off? Is this the right way to go? We want to be 100% sure before we put the work in, really. So all of this stuff will come. It's just sometimes we need to work on other things. It's like we chose to work on the cloud accounts, because that is going to be really crucial going forward. Right now, they are just for sharing and uploading projects, but everything cloud-based will require accounts, will require you to have an account, and we've done that part, and that's not a trivial task to do and implement into the app. So now everyone can have an Elements cloud account, and then we can build services on top of that, which will allow us to provide you guys with all the things you want. And there's a lot of stuff we can do with that once once we get further down the line. So we knew that was crucial, and we wanted to get that in there, rather than spending the time working on a paragraph editor that we knew we can do that. So it's this constant juggling and managing of expectations and features and prioritizing things. Now, we've been doing this, we've been building Elements for over 2 years, and I love doing it. This is, I'm not running, while this is a business, I never got into building software to just because it's a business and thought, oh, let's do that. I see software as an art form, and I enjoy it, and that's why I'm passionate about it. And that is why we release so many betas, and I'm doing these dev diary videos, and to give you a glimpse behind the scene that this is the stuff I enjoy and I love, and this is what I do. I don't want to be over dramatic, but like Real Mac Software kind of is my life's work. I've spent 20 years doing this, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. It could be another 20 years. And I get up every day and I want to build great software, and I want to build Elements, and we want to support the software we have and all the users. And that's what I enjoy doing. It's a passion as well. And I'm so lucky to be able to do this and work with such a great team. We're all really passionate about what we're building, and we love doing it. And we think we have something really special with Elements. Otherwise, I wouldn't have invested 2 years worth of my life, essentially. And everyone else is building this. We wouldn't have invested this time if we didn't think there was something to it. And all the feedback we've had, I think you guys know Elements is special. And I know you're frustrated. You just want to see it finished. But when I go back to Classic, while Rapid Weaver Classic is amazing, and it's been around for 20 years. It is amazing, and it's allowed so many people to build websites, build businesses, and that's amazing. But it does have a shelf life. It's old technology, and everything it's using it has a date. It might go on for another 10 years, but people have been saying to us for the last 10 years, well, you need to build a WYSIWYG editor. Why aren't you doing that? And we're doing it now, and we have been doing it. We've had a lot of false starts in the past that never made the light of day, that no one ever saw. But Elements is it. And we believe Elements is the future for the long term. We will continue to support Classic. So if you're using Classic, I don't want you to worry. We'll continue to support that, and we've got some updates coming for it. So don't worry. But we know Elements is the future. And when I go back to Classic and the old way we built websites, it's just, you can tell it's old, and I can't go back. And I think, well, I know some of the feedback we've had from our beta testers, they've said the same thing. They go back to Classic and it's a bit like, oh my God, this is antiquated. How did I build websites like this? I want Elements. So I think that frustration is really coming out a little bit on the forum as time goes on, that people just want a finished version of Elements. And we want nothing more than to finish it. We really, to get a 1.0 out that's, yes, this is, you can build your website, you can do all the things you need to do. It's all there in a good, solid package. That's what we're aiming for. So that's what we're going to continue to do. And since we've been doing these betas, if you go and look back, all the things we've added and all the bugs we've fixed have all been as a result of user feedback. So all the feedback you've given, I've been filing it in GitHub, our bug tracker, and it's all there, and we're working through it, and we're prioritizing things. So while your issue might not be fixed, or it doesn't have, why haven't you done this yet? It is on the list, and we will get round to it. And I think there's not many, I don't see many apps being developed like this out in the open, because it's a really hard thing to do. But I think it's really beneficial for us, and it's really beneficial for you, in that we have this dialogue while we're building the app, and it's taking longer, but we're all getting something we want. We're building that perfect app. We're adding the stuff you want. So I would say, just don't give up on the beta. Stick with us, because there's clearly something really special here. There was some more feedback in here from Brian as well. He had some, I think it's further down here. If I go somewhere in here. Yes, he talks about Tailwind and the I think there's somewhere in here. It's somewhere in here. Yeah, he talks about Tailwind and the utility first classes, and we should standardize things. And I think he's absolutely right. So based on this feedback, we're looking at standardizing the control. So everything has padding, everything has a margin. You can apply backgrounds to anything. If we didn't have this beta, if people weren't using it, we wouldn't get this feedback and you wouldn't get the product you wanted. In a silo, you make decisions that perhaps aren't the best for the whole community, for the people going to use your software. And that's why this beta process, although it's hard because people are using it and it's like, oh, Elements is so close to being finished, I just need X and X, but why haven't you done that? And it's because of this constant iteration and back and forth. It's taking longer, but this will produce the most amazing app. It already is absolutely fantastic. I've used other apps on the Mac and on the web. We've looked at other stuff. We're taking inspiration from places, and they're just not as good as Elements. If we can finish Elements, it is just, if we can finish this and get it shipped, it's going to be hands down the best web design software on the Mac. So yeah, I suppose in this also, I just want to say, sorry, it's not finished. Sorry, Elements is not finished and it's taking longer than we ever thought it would. But if I didn't think there was something here, I wouldn't spend over 2 years of my life developing this. Well, maybe I would because I love doing it. But anyway, thank you for sticking with us and thank you for buying the beta. Those that bought the beta and stuck with us, we really appreciate it because you're buying it and it's a vote of confidence for us and a vote of confidence for the software we're building. So hopefully together we can get over this little bump and continue building Elements. And I just want to reassure you that those items that people want, like the menus and the paragraphs, we will come back to those sooner now and try and get that stuff finished off because we know how frustrating that is. So we've heard you loud and clear, and that's definitely bumped them up the priority list. So yeah, we need to get back to work and continue building Elements and get it over that 1.0 line. So thank you again for all your feedback. We really appreciate it, and we love building Elements for you guys. So thank you for listening to my rambling, especially if you got to the end. If you did, well done. Amazing. So that's where we are. All right. Thanks for listening to this, and I will see you next in a more normal, maybe a tutorial-y type video. All right. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.